All right, I think we are good to begin. Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for joining today's session. My name is Sanya, and I'm part of the customer success programs here at Catalan, and I'm your host for today. Joining me is my wonderful team, who I will introduce to all of you. So we do have Eve and V from our product support team. They're here to help you guys out with all of your questions. And feel free to use the Q&A window. I believe everyone can see a Q&A window on their Zoom. If you cannot, please use the chat window and let us know. We do have a very special guest from our technical team, our customer success management team, Vaibhav Jain. He is your presenter today, and he is going to be walking you through the topics and the agenda for today in a quick and short demo. So with that, let's move on to the agenda for today. Okay, so we will cover a quick introduction about, the Catalan Studio portal, and Vaibhav is going to begin with some object identification using Catalan, how you can optimize it. It's all about customization, right? You must have received the topics in the invite. So this entire theme will be related to how you can better optimize your testing with some customizations using Catalan's capabilities, similar to using dynamic test objects, custom keywords, and finally, how you can also handle multiple applications in a single flow. So all of these are some good recommended suggestions we had from our guests in the last KOOL session. And we assure you, if you guys have topic suggestions, etc., please do bring it to us. And I will also drop in an email ID that you guys can reach out to if you have any topic suggestions for us. So without much ado, I think Vaibhav, you can get started.
Sure, Sanya. Thanks for the quick introduction and the agenda walkthrough. So thanks everyone for joining today's session, everything about customization. So let's begin with today's session. So let's start with the first topic, how we can do the optimized object identification using catalog. So this is the sum of the, like, based on my experience with the automation testing, I have noted down some of the points which any automation tester can use or identify how they can do the object identification using like any tool or specific to the Catalan Studio as presented. So which kind of object they should use, which should they not prefer, what property they should use, and how they can customize or optimize the object identification. So as you know that when we work with the Catalan recorder, so it will automatically capture some of almost all the object property related to particular objects, and it will try to like use the based on the user preferences. It will try to identify the object based on the user preferences. So before we start with that, let me show walk you through what are the key points I have noted down related to object identification. So being an automation tester, to start with automating any application, first we should understand the DOM structure of the application. Because if you understand the DOM structure of that application, you can easily identify which attribute type you should use. Okay, how you can do that? So to do that, you can go to developer mode and you can open the application and you can see that, okay, so try to highlight any particular object and see what all attribute properties having developer has set for that particular object. Based on that, you can see that, okay, which objects are unique, which attributes are unique and unlikely to change. Like they should be static, because whenever we'll work in automation, we should always try to use such property which will not get changed based on the environments or like based on the runs. So it should be constant. So there are some common attributes which we can easily use: ID, name, CSS classes, XPath. Being automation, it's always preferred to use the XPath. But which kind of XPath we should use? We should always use the relative or relative XPath instead of the absolute one. Why we should not use the absolute? Because when we work with the absolute XPath, it will like from the parents to child, that whole hierarchy it will cover. If anything will get changed between those hierarchy, our XPath will get failed. And that is not a good approach because we can't go every time and see what all the hierarchy change and happen and all. So that's why we should always go with the relative XPath. And as I already mentioned, we should not use the object which will get changed with the environments or with the runs. So we should not use those objects like dynamic ID or the properties say that height, width, those kind of objects we should not use. And we should try to use preferably the ID attributes. If ID attribute is not possible, we can go with the other attributes or we can use the different attributes to combine to create a XPath. So as example I have shown here, like we can use the name or type property to create the XPath. But when we are using the multiple object, we should keep in a mind, we should not use the many objects to create a XPath. If we do that, sometime it happens that if one of the objects attribute property will get changed, it will impact your execution. So we should not overuse the multiple attributes also. And last point, which most of the tester will face, where they will have the two objects with the same object property. How to handle such scenarios? So always in that case, you should find to identify the nearby objects, unique objects. Take as a reference for the unique objects, and from there you can navigate to that particular object. So this is kind of some key points which we can keep in mind while identifying the object using Catalan or using any other automation tool. So let me quickly walk through with our Catalan Studio how the object identification works in the Catalan. So whenever we work with the Catalan recorder, we know that Catalan will automatically capture the objects based on the user preferences. What are the user preferences? I'm not sure if most of you guys have tried to change the object identification setting with the Catalan, but we have the option to optimize our object identification. Where is that option? So you can go to this project settings. Inside the project setting, you have the test design options. Inside the test design, you can see you have the different options, web UI, mobile, test cases, and web services. I'll go for the web UI. In web UI, I'll go with the default reset. Okay. So this is the default reset. So whenever you create any project with the catalog, this is the default object identification method which each project will follow. So by default, it will go with the XPath locator, and in XPath also, it is having the predefined sequence on which it will try to identify the objects. It will go first with the attributes, ID relative, and same way, we have the different attributes type which will get captured. So this is the attribute type which Catalan will try to identify the objects with. Okay. So as I mentioned that you should know your DOM structure. So when you navigate to your DOM structure, if you find that there is some attribute which is static and unique one and is not available here, you have option to add that attributes, which is like based on your preference, you can set that attribute and you can make that as on a priority. That is first thing. And second thing that you can customize the XPath creation also. So being a tester, you should know that which attribute you want XPath to be considered so that you can customize. So you can change this sequence also. Whichever XPath you want to give the preference, you can give the preference, you can give that. And how you can customize the XPath creation. So what you'll do, always try to move the XPath custom attributes on the top. And in the attribute section, you can check or uncheck which attribute you want to work with or XPath to be worked with. So like ID is the most, I'll say that it's a unique one, but it's a most dynamic property, which I know based on my experience. So I'll not go with the ID property. I'll just uncheck this. Okay. Same way, I don't want to go with the placeholder. So this kind of customization we can achieve within the Catalan itself. I don't know if you guys have tried, but explore this feature, it will help you to identify, and it will if you're failing the issue, if you're facing the issue where the objects are not getting that point or it's getting changed every time, try this option. You will be feel very relaxed after using this option. Okay. So once we do this settings, if I'll go with the quickly recorder, I'll not go with the much once again deeper in the recording section. Oh, wait. Okay. So let me quickly start with the recorder. So as you have seen, I have done the settings where I have asked Catalan recorder to give the preference to the custom attributes XPath. So you can see it capture this objects. If I'll go to the capture object property, say that this is my username. You can see that it created the XPath with the custom attributes, say name, username. It didn't choose the ID. Same way, if I'll go with the password, you can see. So based on the preference which we have set or which we have instructed to recorder, it will work accordingly. So this is the way we can optimize the object identification using Catalan, which will make our life easy being an automation tester. So this is about the first topic. Please post your question if you have anything related to this. I'll go with the next topic, how to handle the dynamic object. So being like my experience with automation tester, I always face a challenge where we need to handle the dynamic object, which will get change whenever we start a new session or whenever we try to run in a new environment. How to handle such kind of objects? So, okay, there are a couple of options, a couple of methods or options are available where we can handle the dynamic object. First, we can do the parameterization. So if you know that the ID property is getting changed with the particular values and you know that value, so what we can do, we can parameterize that particular attribute type. And to do parameterization, we have the option, we can go with the local variables, we can go with the global variables, or we can go with the data files also, which I'm going to show in the live demonstration. Second option we can use the regular expression. If we know that whenever we are working with any particular attributes and we know that in that attribute, some part are static one and some are the dynamic one. So for handle such kind of scenario, what we can do, we can create a regular expression or we can create the kind of say that a regular matching patterns kind of regular expression where it will not check for the specific value, but it will check for the matching patterns to identify the objects. It will help us to handle the dynamic object very effectively. And third one, we have the dynamic XPath. So how we catalog recorder is created the XPath doing the recording. If you don't want to go with, if you want to handle the dynamic objects using the dynamic XPath, we can do that. That I'll also going to show with the help of custom keywords. Okay, let me quickly show how we can handle the dynamic objects using the Catalan recorder using the parameterization. Okay, so this is the same scenario I am going to work with, which is like previously I showed where we are logging to the Orange HR portal. I'm logging to the Orange HR portal and I'm just navigating to the there is employment page and I'm searching for the particular employee. So in this script, you can see I have used the hard coded value where I am navigating to this particular employee. Okay. And if I'll go and this is the employee ID which I'm going to click. So you can see here, this is also kind of a hard coded value. But it's not always possible that it will work in all the scenarios or it work in all the environments. So what we can do, if we know that test data, which we have the environment wise, and if we want to take the catalog to take that value every time whenever we'll run based on the environment of that, we can do that parameterization. How to do that parameterization? So for that, again, what we need to do, so I have created another objects with the same I've created this div employee ID. So instead of passing this hard coded value, what I have done, I have parameterized this employee ID. So you can see instead of the text, I'm passing the hard coded value. I have passed through the parameterization where I'm passing through the dollar value. Once we do that, what we need to do next step? So next step, nothing we need to do. So either we can define the variables either in the, this is our global sheet inside the profile. You can define it here. Or if you want to work with the local variable, you can define the variables here inside the script itself. And in the script level, what you need to do? In the script level, what you need to do? You just need to give the reference. Whatever we are giving the reference directly hard-coded value, I'm giving the reference from the global variables. And same way for this div employee ID also, I'm giving the reference from the global sheet. Instead of passing the value directly at the object level, hard-coded value, I'm passing to the variable. I know this is kind of a tricky process or like a manual process which we need to follow, but this is a one-time activity. If you achieve this one, your execution, like in future, it will be easy because you can handle your object identification directly at the variable level, sheet level, or the data file level. Okay, so if I'll run this one, it should work with the value which is there in my data sheet, that is 301. Let me quickly run this one. You can see it went to the 3122. If I'll go to the console log also, so this is about how we can handle the dynamic objects using the parameterization, where you can parameterize. So you need not to parameterize all the objects because in your DOM structure, it's not possible that you have all the objects with the dynamic properties. You have one or two objects which you can easily handle with the help of this parameterization. Third, we are going to talk about how we can create a dynamic XPath. To work with the dynamic XPath, we have the option. We can always we can go with the custom keywords. So before I start with that, what is the custom keywords? So you know that in Catalan we have the various methods available, pre-built methods. So if I'll show that, so you can see here we have the pre-built or building keywords for the different application type. For the web, we have this. For the mobile, we have this many. Same way for web service, Windows, Cucumber framework. So all these pre-building keywords we have available. But it's not possible. Whatever building keywords we have available in the tool, it achieve us to do whatever we want to do. So sometime within this building keywords, we were not able to achieve the expected behavior or the expected testing things. So what we need to do in case, what we can do in that case, we can go with the custom keywords. You can see we have the custom keyword option where we can create a function or method based on our need or requirement. So whatever we want to achieve the particular action or something which is not achievable through the building keywords, we can create a custom keyword. And to create a custom keyword, it's very easy in catalog. Like you need not to go and start it from the scratch. If you don't know how to start with the custom keywords, you can go to this custom keyword section or folder. You can go if you have already building custom keywords in the Java or the Groovy language, you can directly import it here. If not, you can start creating the new. So to start with to create a new custom keywords, we need to go with the first package creation. We can create the package. We can give the name for the package, any name. I'm giving the com.demo. And if once we create the package, if we don't know how to write a how to write a keyword or how to write a method, you can always take a reference from our sample keywords. So we have the sample keywords available for the web, mobile, and API. So you can take the reference from this sample keywords and you can understand how we can create methods or functions. So I'll give the name as cool. Oh, sorry, I haven't done that using the sample one. So I'll create the school and I'll give the keyword as web. I know, guys, this custom keywords is itself a vast topic to discuss. But as we are talking about the customization, so it's having the word custom. So I thought I'll go through the basics of the custom keywords. If you want to discuss more in details, we can have a separate session on this. Need not to worry. So, as you see, I have created the sample keywords using the web one. So it's having some of the predefined keywords which is required as like if you want to refresh the browser page or if you want to click on the particular elements. So those kind of you can also handle with the help of this custom keywords. Now, how to create a dynamic XPath with the help of custom keywords. Okay. So as you can see here, first we have started with the record value. Then we have customized the dynamic element using parameterization. And now how to create the XPath, custom XPath. So you can see if you know the object property, you can define the XPath, like which kind of XPath you want to work. How you can get this option. So if I'll go to quickly, I know we are short time, but let me walk you through that. Okay. So quickly walk you through how we can get the object property. So if I go with the this objects, okay, if I want to work with the this objects, I can highlight this object. I can just right click. I can copy the X path. So once you get the X path, you can paste it here. So you got the XPath. Now you know that this is the XPath which will work for your particular objects. So what you can do in this XPath, you know that the some objects are the static one, which it will be static. So you can keep that static object and whatever is the variable, whatever is the changing object, you can give pass through the variables or you can pass the value through the data files. Once we do that, how it will create a dynamic XPath. So let's discuss on that. So here I have created one custom keyword, like similar way I have showed it now. So here you can see where I have defined the keywords and I am creating the dynamic text objects method where I am passing the string of XPath to the parameter, a variable, and I am creating a XPath based on the condition type. And once it will create the XPath, it will go and click on that particular object. So let me quickly run this one. I've changed the value to 303. And once we create the custom keywords, how to use it at the test case level. So this is the custom keyword which I have created. So guys, if you create the method, if you will not use this keyword at the top, it will just behave as a method. It will not going to be treated as a keyword. To make that as a keyword, you need to add this keyword. And how you can call at the test case level, either on the script mode, you can go with the typing custom keywords dot. So it will list down all the custom keywords available for this project. One second. Okay. So it will list down all the custom keywords available in this particular project. So you can see if you have added any plugins, everything, it will list down all the custom keywords. This is on the script mode, and how to do that at the keyword mode. So you can just go and click on this, add the custom keyword. This is the second option. Third option, you can directly drag and drop it from here. If you know you have created the custom keywords, I have created inside this demo one. If I want to use this one, you can use the drag and drop. And this drag and drop will work for all the keywords, which we have building keywords or the custom keywords. It will work for all the. So this kind of thing you can achieve like this easy. This is the easily you can get the custom keywords to your scripts. If you have any question on this, we can discuss more on this details. The last topic for the today's, as everyone know that Catalan can handle all the different application type, web, mobile, desktop, and API in a single tool. But if we have the requirement where we need to deal with the different application type in a single flow, say that I need to work on the web and mobile script, like in my single flow, I need to navigate through the both the application type. How to handle that? So in Catalan, we have the option where we can create the custom test environments. Adding the multiple application type in single test environment, we can create such environments for the execution. We can do that. We have that. For that, we have the custom desired capabilities option, where you can tailor your test environment based on the specific test scenarios, and you can use for the execution. The default location where all the custom desired capabilities will get saved inside your test project settings external execution folder. You can go and check it. So how to create that? Let me quickly walk through that. I know I'm little bit fast, guys. Please, like, you can always reach out to me for related to this topic, what I am covering it today. I'll be available. So because we have the limited time span where we need to cover the things which we have like help user to go through that. So that's why I'm trying to cover those topics, but we can discuss in details. So in that, so to create the custom desired capabilities, we can go to project settings. Inside the project setting, we have the option desired capabilities. And in that, we have option to custom keywords. So it's inside the custom keywords, you can create the custom test environment, including multiple application type. So how to, I click on add button. If I go to inside here, you can add the different application type. Say that I want to work with the iOS application, iOS mobile testing. I can go and choose the iOS, which iOS device I want to work with. I say that I want to work with the Firefox browser. So based on the our preferences, we can create the test environments and how to use that. So to handle that, I have created one of these scenario where I am logging to the web page, and later once my scenario is done, I need to get the OTP on the mobile. and re-enter on the web page. So this is the scenario which I have created. So this is I'm starting with the browser. Here its OTP is getting triggered. I'm reading the OTP from the mobile and again coming back and entering on the web page. So as you have seen, we have created the custom desired capabilities or custom environments. To run this scenario, what I need to do, I need to go to this run option, and you can see at the last we have this custom attributes. So if I choose this one now, so I have connected to my mobile also, so we let it show you how it is working. So now OTP got triggered. I don't know why it's OTP didn't send, but still it will go and read the messages. So you can see. So whatever last OTP it entered. So this is the way we can automate or we can create the environment, test environment, which is like to deal with the multiple application type in a single flow. As I have mentioned in the during the demo also. So whatever this flow you are seeing it, I have created the web flow separately through the recorder and the mobile separately through the recorder itself. Okay. Later I have merged both the scenarios. So you can see this is my mobile scenario where I'm navigating to the messaging app and capturing the message with the particular keywords. Okay, and I'm storing that OTP. So same way, I have called in between this web page itself, web scenario itself. So once OTP will get triggered, it will automatically switch to the mobile scenario. It will read the OTP. To run this in a single flow, if I directly go and run it either through the Chrome browser or through the Android one, it will go in a one application type. But I want this scenario to be run end to end in both the application type. So that's why we have option to go with the custom attributes. Guys, this is the way we can do the different kind of customization in the Catalan Studio, where we can customize the test objects, keywords, and the test environments. So this is the topic which we have planned. I hope I have give you some knowledge about the customization in Catalan. Maybe not fully, but we can connect and we can discuss more on that. So Sanya, like this is the what we have planned for, and this is some of the support and resources which is available for our Catalan platforms. So we have the Catalan support portal where you can, if you are facing any technical issue or challenges while using the Catalan, you can always reach out to our support portal either through the email or through our portal where you can log in the ticket, and based on the priority, you will get the response. And you have the option to get the support portal access from your admins or owners, and you can submit the tickets. You can review your tickets, you can check when it open, what's the stage and all those, what's the priority. And we have the onboarding hub and the Catalan Academy. If you want to learn more about Catalan platform, different, how to automate different application type, how to learn about Catalan AI, text design, text execution. So we have the different level, beginners, so expert level. So different levels of learning we have available. So please go through that. It's open for all the users. So anybody can go and explore this academy and the onboarding hubs.